everyone, and welcome to Pat's Facebook Party live segment. I'm Diana Askew, trainer and director with Pampered Chef and owner-operator of Askew Acres. I apologize for the craziness of the show, but I'm hoping that we can pull it together and do some cooking together right here, if nothing else, live. I'm not a fan of going live. I'll go ahead and confess that, but it is the world we live in, right? So what I've decided to do, or how I've made myself acclimate to this, is I just do what I do in my kitchen. Most of the time I talk to myself anyway, so now I'm talking to you guys. But I mentioned in the description, I don't know if any of you guys have actually read the invitation description, but it is a meal prep. Miss Pat has actually been here at my house to do meal prep in a workshop that I held. It's been a few years ago. I hope to someday get back to that. But anyway, right today I am doing lasagnas. I'm going to be doing a couple of lasagnas for my son's lunch, and I'm going to do a zucchini lasagna because the zucchini plants are super healthy. I thought I'd walk through some of the things that I do with zucchini and cucumbers. So, back here in my wok, I don't know if you can see this. I'll bring it a little bit closer, but what I have going here is 2 pounds of ground meat. It's actually venison. And a pound of spicy bulk sausage, pork sausage. And I'm using our super mix and chop. I know everybody has one. If you don't have one, you need to get one. Zips through ground beef, guacamole, mashed potatoes, whatever you might be. I shred chicken with it. So whatever you might be doing. Our stainless non-stick wok is super cool. I'll just bring a little closer, but that's the meat. So it's about 3 pounds of ground meat that I start with. And I love the wok. It has that little helper handle. But I can batch cook in it, or cook a huge meal. You guys will probably hear the clicking of little toes. I have a yellow lab under my feet who is scared to death of weather, bad weather, and she's letting me know that it's coming. So hopefully we won't lose power, but if we do, we're gonna forge forward because I'm filming with my phone and I have gas on the stove, so we'll just get it done. So, also in my lasagna, the creamy part, I already have in my bowl here. This is our 2-quart prep bowl. I already have my ricotta. I use cream cheese in my lasagna, and I have a couple of eggs here. So I'm just gonna whip that, mix that together. Just combine the eggs in with those soft cheeses. I let them come to room temperature so they're easier to combine. Incorporate. I'm going to add about half of my mozzarella, and I have probably 5 cups of mozzarella there in my small batter bowl. It's a quart size. And both of these come with lids so you can store. You can mix your pancake batter, use what you need for that morning, pop the lid on, and then stick it in the fridge. You can also bake in them. They're oven safe. Or freeze. Freezer safe. And of course, dishwasher safe. So I've just got all of the lumps out, and the eggs are all incorporated into that. Now back here to my meat, I'm also going to add, I love this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Found it at H-E-B, but it's tomato concentrate with chicken, like a tomato bouillon. And it just adds so much flavor, such a punch. So in lieu of tomato sauce, I'm using this just to give that extra punch. I'm just going to add a couple of tablespoons, and it is super concentrated, so beware if you do try that. And then also a conglomerate of tomatoes. Now I've done this several different ways. These are diced tomatoes, and I have a couple of cans of pasta sauce. So undrained, diced tomatoes. You can do petite diced. You can do Italian. They have Italian flavor. To me, I mean, you really can't go wrong As long as you have the basics in your lasagna, cheese, meat, sauce, noodles, or zucchini if you're going lighter. My husband and I started a healthy journey with the turn of the new year, kind of trying to cut back carbs. Of course, he's lost more weight than I have, but why do men do that? They absolutely do. I don't know. I'm using our Smooth Edge can opener. We like more sauce, less cheese, more meat. I definitely live with carnivores. Let me bring this a little closer. So when you put the Smooth Edge can opener on, you lay it on the top of your can, and as soon as you tighten, it's going to grip it. So I am spinning it all the way around, and you can feel it kind of lessen, and it'll go either way, left-handed or right-handed. And as soon as you feel it give, you turn it back the other way and release. And then it has this little beak, little plier piece there that lifts your lid up. No sharp edges. It breaks that seal. In lieu of time, I'm gonna set my cans here to rinse them later. And give this a mix around. I'm using here, I wanted to show y'all too, this is our wood and silicone. This comes in a 3-piece set. I love this set. It's so, so pretty. And it's a nice size serving spoon. These are a hand wash. You can stick them in the dishwasher. They're just not going to be pretty very long if you do. Okay, now my seasonings, just basic salt and pepper. We're using our grinder set. Go ahead and pepper our cheese as well. And this is that triple blend that we have, black, white, and red peppercorns. And then salt. It's the pink Himalayan blend, of course, salt. Salt and pepper to your taste. Italian seasoning. I'm going to put a tablespoon in the sauce, and then also a tablespoon in my cheese. It looks like about a tablespoon. I'll just dump the rest of that in there. Now we learned, we're doing so many workshops, and Pat may recall this, but the lid is actually a tablespoon. So if you don't have a tablespoon handy, just use the lid. This is crushed peppercorn and garlic. If you're just trying our pantry items, I highly recommend this one. It is so versatile. It's great on just about anything you put it on. It is what it says it is, crushed peppercorn and garlic, and that's pretty much all that's in it. I use it on fish, on beef, on pork. I put it in mashed potatoes. It makes fantastic garlic smashed potatoes with a little bit of sour cream and cream cheese. Oh, delicious. And of course, in any Italian that you're doing, in your meatloaf, it's fabulous. Mix this up. Now I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and add about half of this cheese for our in-between layers. I'm also going to post this to my meal prep group. I usually do a meal prep Monday segment. And due to Mayhaw season, have not been able to get on. So, members of meal prep group, hey, good to see ya. I wish I could see ya. Okay, and in case you're wondering, I mentioned Mayhaws. This big pot back here, this is my steamer pot. This is how I make, I turn Mayhaw berries into Mayhaw concentrated juice. That thing pretty much lives on my stove these couple of months during the season. Okay, now I'm gonna cut down a couple of these zucchinis to make my noodles, my veggie noodles. And I'm just going to cut the ends off. This is a pretty big one. I think I'm going to keep this to do something else with. But I'm going to show you guys. This is actually the ideal size, but you know, it never fails. With squash and zucchini, you can think you picked everything off, and you get to the end of the roll and you look back and there's 10 more that you didn't see. And inevitably, you're going to go back the next day and see that you missed one, and then they're this big. But this 4 to 6 inch size, that's really what you're looking for. And I'm just going to cut these in strips. I compost everything, so that's what you're hearing. There's my compost bucket. So I get all of the scraps out. They go outside and back into the garden. Okay, this is our quick slice. That's just what it says it does. Slices things quickly. But I want it to fit on that grate. See the square grate in the middle? I want whatever I'm slicing to fit right there. And I'm going to go long ways with it. So let's put 2 on. That one's a little long, so I'm going to cut it in half. Or a third, I say. Cut that one in half. I do believe the lab is snoring. That's not me. If you hear snoring, that would be the lab. She's in her safety zone. So with any of our wedgers, you're going to rock the wedger back and forth until it zips all the way down into the guard. If you try to force it, you might bend the blade. So always rock it back and forth. And you see what you have is evenly sliced pieces. This is great for apples, avocado, mushrooms. I use it all the time to zip through mushrooms really quickly if I'm slicing several. And you know, buy those jokers in bulk. Don't waste money on already sliced mushrooms. Do it yourself. Strawberries, tomatoes, olives, just whatever you might be slicing up and want in a uniform size. Go ahead and get this one sliced too. And I'll get this out of the way. That's one of those things I really didn't think I would need. And they sent it to me to try, and of course, I loved it. And I needed it, of course. Okay, now for our zucchini lasagna, veggie lasagna, I guess you could call it. Now you could do this. I've done it with yellow squash before. You could do it with eggplant, whatever your favorite veggie is. I'm using our enameled cast iron baker. This is the 2-quart size. I love this. Isn't it pretty? This is the gray. And we also have it in that beautiful baby blue right now. I think that's a limited offer, limited time. I'll get these spices stirred up. I always start with the tomato with the meat layer. Kind of prevents that sticking on the bottom. So I'll get this in. Just a couple of spoons. That smear around. And then I'm just going to lay the zucchini over just like you would your lasagna noodles. Of course, I always buy the oven-ready lasagna. I don't buy, you know, the no-boil noodles. That little piece right there. And then, I'll show you a quick tip too. Use the large stainless scoop, and then you can kind of eyeball how and where this goes in your cheesy mixture. Right down there. Okay, so now layer of the sauce. We have the layer of our noodles, our green noodles, and then our cheese. And then we just start the layers over again. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get Dawson's going. These I put in our rectangle storage containers because these, I used to do our 8-cup. I wanted to show you this. This is a nice size, especially for lasagna. Because this will feed 4 to 6 people. It's an 8-cup container. You can stack your lasagnas in these, stick them in the freezer, and then when you're ready to cook it, just pop the lid off. I used to do those for my son when he was at A&M. We'd do several, stack them in the freezer, and he lived on lasagna. He loved them because he could just take it out, put it in the oven, eat it out of the bowl. If he didn't finish it, he stuck it in the fridge, heated it up in the microwave, eat it out of the bowl. Then he only has the one bowl to wash and the fork. He's so goofy. Okay, I'm just breaking these noodles to fit. We'll use these in a bit. Shout out to Tupperware. Don't y'all love those containers? I've got all of my spaghettis in here. I've got spaghetti noodles, fettuccine, and then the lasagna. Okay, guys, forgot to put the sauce in first. I'm gonna actually go ahead and bake these because he's taking them to lunch. All he'll have to do is heat them up in the microwave. Yes, my children are quite rotten, very spoiled, and they know it. They're good boys. Always be my babies, right? They're about to be 21 and 24. Gosh, that's just crazy that I have kids that old. Okay. Now he's got the sauce, the noodles, and now same thing, the cheese. Little light spread. And now we'll start over with this stacking. I'm going to set this to the side. There's no need for y'all to watch me do this. And we'll move on. So I have a couple of more layers of that. Go ahead and put the rest of this on. Get that out of the way. So Pampered Chef, you know, every time they bring out a new product, we get a whole bunch of new recipes for the product, of course. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, every time you bought a new Pampered Chef product, it came with a recipe in the box and sometimes a recipe booklet. I love that. I say all the time, Pampered Chef taught me how to cook because we would have that very recipe until I perfected it, until my husband said, okay, honey, let's cook something different. Set these out of the way. And I'm going to go back to our zucchini pile here. So this one that I started on, it's pretty big. So I'm going to slice it down the middle. This is our Forged Cutlery chef's knife. This thing used to scare the bejesus out of me. But now, I finally kind of know how to wield it. Lots of practice. Let me grab my scoop loop. I use this so often, especially this time of year. This is one of the tools I was telling you is on the outlet right now. This is so handy for getting out seeds. It makes melon balls with one end, and the other end was actually designed to hull strawberries. But it also de-seeds jalapenos, zips through those like nobody's business. I think I use it more for those than anything. Back to the Mayhalls, one of the most favorite jellies that I make, which I only make Mayhall jelly, but I'll put jalapenos in it and do jalapeno mayo. It's fabulous on pork tenderloin, salmon. Okay, and then another product that is also on the outlet is the veggie strip maker. So rather than a spiralizer, you can actually do veggie strips. I love this thing. I use it quite often, but look. So you have little fettuccinis out of the zucchini. So that's another way to use these big zucchinis. I can also do it this way, like a grate, because I'm actually going to use this to make zucchini bread later today. I'll be sure and share that recipe as well. You see what you have? Just little grated zucchinis. Now, on to our mandolin. I wanted to show you that. Y'all, this is the coolest thing ever. So on the back side, it stores just like that, folds down into a little box. On the back side, you have the dials that you can go with your thickness. Like if you're doing fries, we've got ours on 8 because I want the zucchini fries to be pretty thick. And then here, the top dial you can turn it all the way around to make it just a slice, or you can turn it to your thickness. You could do as small as like a julienne cut, like a shoestring potato, or a steak fry, just regular French fries. So let's get this put together. This little basin goes right here. Turn it this way so you guys can see. And then this is the chute, the food chute. And then like all of Pampered Chef's sharp things, it comes, well, let's get this in here correctly. Probably if I turn it around, so I can see what I'm doing. That's what I'll do. All of our sharp items always come with a cover, a case, or a locking mechanism, which this has also. Okay. So the handle you turn to release the lock, and then we put our food right here in the food holder. So I'm gonna do zucchini fries. That's one of the new recipes I started telling you guys about a while ago. So I cut our zucchini down to fit in the chute. It may just be stuck in the chute now. Gotta love live, right? So all you do is you whop it. It's another one of those stress relieving products. I'm doing this one this way. So these will go in the short way. And there you have what's going to be zucchini fries. I'm going to run them through the air fryer. So imagine a potato, French fries, same thing. You could do carrots. You could do sweet potatoes. These are going to be good. And if you wanted to chop it, you just take this out, put it back in the chute, and run it through again, and then you have diced. You're doing onion or bell pepper, potatoes, tomatoes, whatever. I haven't done tomatoes yet. Just kind of all goes together, right? And then it holds it in the bin there. And there you have it. How cool is that? Very cool. So I mentioned when I first posted about the mandolin, it is $70 and it is a hot item. We've already ran out of that. It's been out of stock twice since they brought it out at the beginning of spring. In March, 1st of March, almost immediately out of stock. So if you decide you want it, I will throw in that French fry kit. I will throw in that difference of $9. That'll be my gift to you. So just let me know that you've ordered it, and I'll go in and back that extra $9 out. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw in a Season's Best so you qualify that $1 extra. It's actually $2. You'll qualify for the free gift, which is the paring knives. Set of 3 paring knives. And this is one of them. These are so handy. And they make great gifts, as I mentioned. Okay, the one other thing that I wanted to show y'all is also back behind me here. I have tonight's supper. Y'all, when I get in the kitchen and cook, there's going to be a few meals come out of the kitchen, especially this time of year, because I'm so busy down in the Mayhaw orchard. So there's going to be several meals cooked. This, I have in here, I found in the freezer, a couple of soup bones. Oh, the steam. This is our Rock Crock Everyday Pan. But these were really meaty soup bones, so I stuck these in here. Can you see that? I have them seasoned with our bell pepper rub. Now the Rock Crock, I think, is one of our most fantastic cookware lines. It is the most versatile for sure. It's a baking clay, so think a stoneware if you're a stoneware fan. But this can also, it's coated, so it can also go on the stovetop. It can go in the oven, it can go under the broiler, it can go in the microwave, it can also go in the freezer. But my favorite way to use it, as you see back here, is the slow cooker base. So I can take it, I seared these pieces of meat on the stovetop, and I can take it straight and put it into the slow cooker base, turn it on and forget it. But also out of my garden today, I got beans. I have some fresh snaps. I'm gonna leave them whole. I just took the ends off. And then I also have some wax beans here. So I'm just putting these over those pieces of stew meat, soup bones, I'm sorry. The bones are so tiny and there's so much meat on it. I think this is gonna be fine. Oh, I missed an end. Okay. And then just season, salt and pepper. And then by the time these beans are done, the meat's gonna be nice and tender for dinner. I'll probably serve it with zoodles. More zucchini. And then the lid. Now, Pat mentioned that she liked our non-stick cookware. I'll show you real quick. My favorite skillet is the 10-inch. The 10-inch skillet. And I found out this doesn't come with a lid. As you can see, it really is it's a small, call it a fry pan. It's a saute pan. This fits perfect. So if you do need a lid, your Rock Crock lid will also fit the 10-inch skillet. And this is the 8-inch. This is my husband's favorite little pan. All right. Our oven mitts, they're redesigned. If you've seen them before, you probably saw that they were red. We recently changed these to gray, and they're a little bit bigger to fit those man hands. Was one of our top complaints. And the last thing I'm going to show you, did I already say that one time? I want to show you one more thing, is what to do with those cucumbers that you missed. Those bigger cucumbers. I swear this joker wasn't there yesterday, and I go out there today and it's big. It's huge. So most likely that's going to be bitter. You don't want that. You don't want to just eat it. I'm sorry, Sadie. I need to get in here, girl. Sadie. Excuse me. Grab another flexible cutting mat. These are great. Also set of 3. I'll cut these ends off. And I know I had a debate going on with my Facebook. I said, you know, do you rub the ends? You cut the end and rub it, just because Mamaw did. And that sparked quite a debate. It's funny. But apparently my grandmother wasn't the only one that did that. Now this is one of the peelers in the peeler set. I love using this thing versus the veggie peeler. I use the veggie peeler too, but I just like the way this one is shaped and made. It seems to fit my hand better. So I'm just taking the peel off. This goes. Compost. Okay, now for the seeds, if I have my corer, I would just cut this in half and stick the apple core down in there to get rid of those big seeds. And once the cucumber is big, you know those seeds are going to be huge. I loaned my corer to a friend that was doing some pickles. So I'm just going to use the scooper to take these out and just slide it in there, get rid of those big seeds. Cucumbers are so good for you. And they're next to nothing. It's one of those veggies that your body, you know, uses more calories to digest it. I eat a lot of cucumbers, especially right now. I'm trying to drop a few pounds. Okay, get these out. This is just such a handy tool. I don't remember how much it is on the outlet, but it's definitely worth grabbing if you don't have one. And you can shop the outlet and still counts towards Pat's Party. Scoop out those seeds. And I'm just quartering this. This is our manual food processor that I'm dropping it down in. You could also use the food chopper if you have that. But I'm gonna cut these down and make a yummy dip. Sorry guys, I have to clean as I go. It makes me crazy. Okay. Go ahead and put this over here. And so it does pretty much the same thing as the food chopper. It's just a 3-cup capacity. So I'm just gonna pulverize this cucumber. You'll know the cucumber's like 90% water. Down. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, down. Now this part can't go in the dishwasher, so I'll just wipe that off. But the bottom and the blades, you see, three different blades at different heights. But look, pulverized. Now I'm going to put this in my small strain in my small batter bowl, mixing bowl from the glass mixing bowl set, which is also oven safe, by the way. This over here. Grab that mini spatula. This fits down in these groups perfect. But this will allow some of that water that we just pulverized would allow some of that to drain out. Now you could do a purple onion in here, chop that up. But I take the all-purpose dill and just a little sprinkle of the all-purpose dill. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is one of our salt-free seasonings. So if you're doing salt-free, the dill, we have a couple of them, but all-purpose dill is one of them. And so now you have a little light snack you could eat on crackers, or you could eat with celery. You could eat it as a veggie dip. And there you have it. A way to use that big, huge cucumber. Okay, so I think I've showed y'all several things. If you have any questions, please ask. Please post either underneath this video. Let me know if you watch it later too. Just put a replay down in the bottom. If you have any questions, like I say, don't hesitate to ask. There's no dumb question. And I appreciate y'all's patience, and I appreciate y'all watching. I hope you watched all the way through. I'll snap pictures of the finished product, and I'll also share the recipes. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.